friends, it's time for another episode of Revival Town Podcast. I'm Chuck Tate, that's Andy King.
Chuck Tate, you doing all right?
Doing good. Another week, another opportunity to talk with you.
Yeah, and you are looking a little refreshed.
You know, I just returned from the great state of Colorado.
Yeah.
For an annual trip called Ski and Grow. It's somewhat of a sabbatical for me that the church sends me on. I gather with a good friend of mine, Jason Williams, who's been on the podcast before. Been doing this now for, 12 years or more. Took a little break during COVID. But last year we did a full episode from Colorado, if you recall that.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
We were in a condo. So in the past, we always went to Crooked Creek Ranch, which is a camp owned by Young Life. In the last couple of years, we were just at a condo in Winter Park because Young Life Ranch, Crooked Creek Ranch was unavailable, but we were back there. It's just incredible. It really is. So what Ski and Grow is all about, there are about 10 to 12 guys that gather. We ski during the day. We get back in the afternoon, jump in the hot tub. After that, we go to dinner. We return back to the ranch, which is just an incredible log cabin nestled in Fraser, Colorado, surrounded by my mountains and trees. And we get a big fire going in the middle of the lodge. It's a nice fireplace. And we open the Word of God. So this past week, we were in Colossians chapter 3, verses 1 through 17. We read it in 3 different translations each night and just unpacked that passage. It was rich. It was good fellowship, good connecting with some other guys, and for me, just an opportunity to kind of unplug from the routine of pastoring and podcasting, God TV, all that stuff, and just came back with some fresh fire.
That's good.
Yeah, feeling refreshed and I'm ready to rock this podcast today.
I think it's needed, things like that, to get away. Especially when you're leading people and you're leading organizations, you need a bit of a breather. Yeah. Because, and I know people, and we've joked about it over the years when I say, well, you only work on Sundays, right. and I'm joking because I know what it is like to be on pastoral teams, and everyone sees you on Sunday.
You've grown up in ministry.
But Sunday, I always saw as game day.
Yeah.
Right? You're practicing and prepping and getting ready all week long. But game day is Sunday. So that's when people see it, right? You see the soccer games or the football games on the game day, but there is every day leading up to that. There is training. There's getting ready.
Yes. I think it was Al Gordon who said, in our conversation that we had with him recently, you put a lot of effort and creativity to do what you do on Sunday, so Monday can be fruitful.
That's good.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah,
and that is true. So, and you know what it's like leading a nonprofit. Everybody, really, regardless of what you do, at some point you need to just take a step back and rest. Sabbath isn't for Jesus. Sabbath isn't for God; it's for us.
Yeah. But don't you feel sometimes a bit guilty? Yeah. Right, because of the pressure of the world. I really feel, and we work. When I came to America, I heard this a lot. Well, people in the church, they're working 5 days a week, and then they go to church on a Sunday. They're not getting another day off in the week when they go to church. And so basically what you were saying to the pastoral team was, you're going to work Monday through Friday, and you're going to work all day Sunday, and probably prepping on a Saturday, but you can't take a day off during the week. That's what the message was. And I feel some old school pastors still really feel that way.
And what happens is you burn out your team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you're not effective.
Yeah.
So you want to be effective, you have to rest. Jesus modeled rest. God, what he created, everything in 6 days, he rested on day 7. Yeah. Jesus is the Lord of the harvest of Sabbath. and the harvest. And he said, pray because the harvest is wide open. Workers are
Yeah.
few, so pray for the Lord of harvest send workers. But yeah, no, He's the Lord of the Sabbath, and Sabbath it's not for Him, it's for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
To rest, recalibrate, so we can be effective.
Yeah.
The rest of the week. So it's not about rules and regulations, and it's not about religion. It's about the relationship we have with Him, and He wants us to rest. And for me, it was good for my soul. I mean, I had fun skiing, and it was great jumping in the hot tub in Colorado, sitting outside. But more than anything, the camaraderie and just sitting around that fire with other guys and breaking bread together and eating some good meals, and we cooked steak on the grill and went some great restaurants. And you know what's really cool about this is somebody actually paid for me to go, because I know there's probably people sitting around going, well, I don't know, I think the church's money should be used on sending the pastor to Colorado. And I would disagree.
I would too.
I would disagree.
Yeah.
But I do want to say that, man, we were blessed that this trip was 100% covered. And I really did need it. And, our good friend Jason, OJ, we call him at church. He's been an elder on our church board for all 27 plus years. And we rented a vehicle, and he drove almost the entire trip. And that allowed me to, in the vehicle, I worked. I was working and knocking stuff out. And then on the way back, getting back in church mode. But while I was there, I was, able to just focus on just friendships, relationships, and Jesus.
Yeah, that's good.
So
that's good. Well, we're going to do things a bit different today.
Yeah, we are.
In fact, we're going to be talking a lot about what we've just chatted about.
Yeah.
Because in the last week, I've had 2 interactions with 2 pastors, totally different spectrums of where they're at. And it really just jolted me to look at the extremes within our city, which also is all over the globe, I feel.
Right.
So that's what we're going to do. Is that right?
That's what we're going to do. And one of the reasons we're going to do this is because a lot of our regular listeners have told me, and I know they've told you, my favorite episodes are when it's just you and Andy. We have a good time. We get crazy. We laugh a lot, but we also have some deep conversations. I think this is going to be one of those conversations.
Yeah.
In fact, we should even, I don't know, maybe get some coffee going.
Should we make some coffee?
Hey, I think you should. So, in the background, you did a great job setting up this new studio. I guess got to say, you rock.
Thanks. Do you want me to get started? We're gonna do some coffee. Is that all right?
Let's do that. All right. You're Mr. Creative, so I'll just keep talking while you start brewing. We have.
We got a mic here.
We have a mic there, and
so that's all right.
You can.
I can do 2 things at once.
You can do 3 things at once. You can put on a spot of tea and a coffee. But no, we're gonna make some coffee right now, and I'm just gonna swing around and check out.
Hopefully this will work.
Yeah. So if you're listening right now, Andy has another microphone, and he is behind our chairs, and we have some DCP coffee on display. A couple books I've seen before. I think
these books keep getting out and about.
Oh yeah, they're so
41
dusty.
will come. 9.
They
haven't been read.
9 coffees from Jesus.
Let's get this going. Let's get this going.
Honestly, this Phillips coffee maker is pretty sweet.
Did you even hear it, mate?
Oh, listen to that. So, look at it come out,
coming
man.
out. There now we've also got.
Listen. Shh. I can hear angels singing.
We've even got. I'm gonna have to put the mic down a minute.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us what we got. Oh, are you frothing? You're putting creamer? Oh snap! Look at this. So we got
frothing it.
Some Coffee Mate Italian sweet cream. We have some half and half. He's putting it in a frother. I mean, we're doing this live right now. This is what you get when you tune into Revival Time podcast. Sometimes,
and when you watch, you get to see it.
You get spontaneous coffee making by my mate Andy King.
Oh, now,
all right.
Now you're a big coffee drinker, though, right?
Yeah, I love coffee.
Would you say you're definitely the Starbucks type guy, or do you like going, like you sent me a picture from Frothy Monkey in Franklin when you were down in Nashville area.
Yeah. Where's your mug at?
Oh, it's at home. I use it.
All right, good. All right, okay.
Oof, that was close. No, I use it every morning.
I saw it on Facebook Marketplace. What's up with that?
It's tough times.
Oh my! So I'm not a coffee snob.
Okay.
I do like the foo coffees from Starbucks. You know, my drink is I've switched it. It's no longer a venti. Now I get a tall. I've cut down a little bit, but a tall iced white chocolate mocha with only 2 pumps of caramel syrup, 2 pumps of white chocolate, and then I make it with non-fat milk, no whip, but I add salted caramel cold foam, and then I have them use blonde espresso. That's my drink at Starbucks at the moment. But what I've been doing, I don't even think I've told you this, but every morning, my favorite cup of coffee is from Costco. Yep. It's Columbia. It's a dark roast. And then I add Dunkin' creamer to it. That's kind of my drink, but I only do one a day. If I drink coffee after that, I've been drinking it black. So, but I'm still not a coffee snob. And this right there, look at that. Look at that foam.
Good.
That looks fantastic. I'm going to do. I'm taste testing it right now.
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait. Okay. Okay. All right.
Show it on the camera.
Look at that.
Look at that. All right. There you go, Mr. Tate.
Thank you, sir.
You can put a tip in the jar.
That is fantastic. So
I'm going to make one for myself.
Hey, right? Yeah. Thank you. Look at him serving. Look at this guy. Man, I knew there was something about Brits. So that is really good. So yeah.
So there we go.
We're brewing coffee.
Now you know what we should do in a few weeks? Go to this station and make some tea.
Yes. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got a tea station, coffee station.
Yeah.
I like a good spot of tea.
Yeah. I know.
For all of our friends in the UK, I'm sure that they would love that.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm gonna get this finished real quick here. It's nearly done. So
all right.
Sorry for everyone.
And then we're just gonna have some coffee talk. We're gonna talk
talk
about ministry, talk about passion, vision.
Yeah.
And I know you're gonna share the story about a couple conversations that you had within the last week. And I think, whether you're a pastor listening, watching, a leader, a parachurch minister, someone who just serves in the church, I think it's really easy for any of us to get burned out with ministry, to get burned out with serving. One of our core values at Rock Church is to care for the house, and the house is not just what's inside the building, but it's the people. So we always say, save people, serve people. But even when it comes to serving, you need to rest. I get concerned, Andy, when somebody comes to our church and man, they love it and they're like, man, I'm going to serve. They get plugged in and they want to serve every single service in every single area, and I just know they're not going to be able to sustain that. So we try to set up some boundaries to say, hey, let's be balanced here. We don't want anybody burning out.
Yeah, it happens. It's definitely one of those things that is easy to be done. Is someone to keep going, and it's just tough because you want people to be able to serve, okay? But the church can also be a great place for people to be abused, as far as they said they'd work for 12 hours, so we went at it, and I think that's where the balance comes in on volunteers. But when it comes to pastoral side of things, this week I had a conversation with two people. The one was a pastor who basically is on the treadmill. Like he's there, but he's not there. He's got other things outside the church he's doing. He's lost passion for the church. Doesn't know how to not keep going because it's also connected to his income, right? You're talking, in the States, it's not just income, it's health insurance and retirement. But you can tell that this guy is just there to get to retirement, or there to just
kind of going through the motions.
Going through the motions.
It's routine.
And it was just sad. And, I'm trying to encourage him, trying to, direct him as far as getting around guys who aren't in that spot. Right?
Yeah. Thanks for taking the time for me, man.
Yeah. Well, you just got back from Colorado. You're fine now.
I was down skiing down Mary Jane. Yeah.
So I had that conversation. The next day, I'm having lunch with a new church planter in town who is absolutely on fire for what is about to happen. He only has 10 people committed right now. Got a building in a great area of town where there is a lot of need, right? Yep. So it's going to be one of those things that this guy is going to meet the community. He's more excited about meeting the needs of the community than really building the church. Because as I said to him, you build and serve the community, that will build the church. People will want to be around people who can help and be encouraged and bring the hope of Jesus as well. So, but in literally 24 hours, I went from talking to a pastor who is just holding on to a pastor who is absolutely on fire and cannot wait for
he's like in the blocks, ready to he's ready for that gun to go to take off.
Absolutely. Right? And even if it's just 10 people, you got this other guy who established church, nice building, good crowd, right? And you're sitting there and you're going, what happened?
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted to unpack today.
Yeah. So, I think there are a lot of different variables that could be in play. I look at my own life, and there have been seasons that have been hard. Ministry isn't easy. Ministry is messy. You're dealing with people. Sometimes God sends people to you. Sometimes he sends people through you. And sometimes people try to kill you. No. No. So you always gotta be, looking around and alert. But no, honestly, I was on a podcast last night, and I was asked the question, what would you say to a young church planter? You've been in this now over 27 years, and is there anything that's connected to this success that you're experiencing now? And my answer was, and maybe you can relate to this, Andy, is we've always refused as a church leadership to stray from our vision. We know what God called us to do. And I think a lot of young church planters, and this guy that you're talking about, he's pumped. I think he's looking at needs to meet, and he's got the right attitude, and he's approaching in the right way. But there are church pastors out there, and even pastors, that they're more passionate about preaching than they are people. And a pastor is a shepherd, not just a preacher. And
that's why it's also crucial to have the right team around you.
Yeah, and you're shepherding your team.
Yeah, and not only that, on your team, you may have a guy who is that teacher, right? Mm-hmm. Who can really teach. You may have someone on that team that is better at pastoral duties than what you are.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
No, exactly.
But it's because
we all have different giftings.
That's right. And in Scripture, you got the fivefold ministries. You got the different folks that are there: the prophet, the teacher, the preacher. All these different avenues. And I think sometimes as well, Chuck, correct me if I'm wrong on this, right?
Yeah.
I think Well, I'm going to back up a minute. The guy who's the church planter, he told me about, he knew and is close to another pastor that has been in town for years, but who does everything. And he's never happy. Right?
Yeah.
But he's old school as far as, well, if I'm the pastor, I've got to do the teaching, the preaching, I've got to bring the word, I've got to be at the hospital visits, I've got to, and it's just him. Right?
Right.
And probably why the church has never grown.
Yes. And I'm sure, and I don't know who you're talking about, but my guess would be there's probably, I don't want to say bitter, but probably some discouragement that has settled in, and almost it's easy to start looking down at others and asking, why does anybody help? But really it kind of falls back on him to surround him with the right people that are going to hold up his arms. And he also needs to give a license to some people in his church to do some things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's part of being a leader. You're a pastor, you're a shepherd, you're a leader, and you can't do everything.
Yeah.
When our church was young, there was more responsibilities that I felt like only I could do. But as we've grown, I realized, there are people on our team that are better gifted in different areas. You know, like honestly, I don't do a lot of counseling.
Right.
That's not in my skill set. I'm going to give pastoral counsel. I'm going to give spiritual advice. I'm going to tell you what the word says. But when it comes to some deep needs of serious therapy, I'm going to pay to send you to a professional.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're going to get more help that way.
Yeah.
And so it's better for them and it's better for me.
Yeah.
But I've met some guys that they don't want to do that. They feel like, no, I'm the one who needs to do the counseling.
Right.
I'm the one who needs to do the preaching. I'm the one who has to go to the hospital.
Why do you think
Jesus, he sent out 72 people.
Why do you think we do that? Why do pastors, do you think, feel that they have to take the whole weight of everything?
I think sometimes it's ego. I think sometimes it's pride. Sometimes the motivation is wrong. Sometimes people do things just to get the pat on the back and glory. And I'm not saying that every pastor do that. I'm just giving multiple
observations.
Observations and reasons. And sometimes there are pastors out there, they don't feel like they have anyone qualified to do stuff. But that's where discipleship comes in.
Yeah.
You know, disciple some people and get them out doing it. Let them fall. Jesus, you know, he had his inner circle of 3. He had the disciples of 12. He also sent out 72.
Yeah.
So you do have to empower people. At some point, you gotta turn them loose to do the works of the ministry. And there are people with giftings, and you got to find out what those giftings are, and let people serve and lead and do those things. And sometimes it's control. I think there's some pastors that they just want to control everything, and I was probably like that for a time myself. But I've had to mature, I've had to grow, and a lot of churches, if it's just a one-man show, it's really hard to sustain that. And on the other side of the coin, it's really hard to be effective.
Yeah. Okay, so how do we advise pastors and leaders of nonprofits how to keep that passion?
Well, for me, it's a calling. Okay, I'm called to pastor Rock Church. Even though I've had opportunity to go other places, I'm called here. I'm called to shepherd these people. So I want to steward the people and the resources that God has given us. I also, it goes back to what I said earlier, not straying from the vision. I know Annette and I, the vision was given to us by God. So we knew 28 years ago, before we launched the church, what we were going to do, what kind of church we were going to be, what kind of people we were going to target, what style of worship we wanted to have. We knew who we were.
Right.
We've never strayed from our vision. We've evolved, we've matured, we've grown. We've at we've changed things. You know, we stick to the message.
Yeah.
But our methods change. Methods change all the time.
Yeah.
But the message, boom. That's we're never willing to compromise the Word of God. But we've had people that have ended up in our church leading, serving, whether it's a leader or staff, that would try to kind of, hey, maybe you should go this way, and try to kind of push us to. But we refuse to stray from our vision. And I think there might be pastors listening right now. The church might not even know what the vision of the church is. That it starts there. Without a vision, the people perish. I remember years ago, Andy, I met with a pastor. I had somebody approach me and say, hey, my pastor is struggling. The church is not growing. It's stuck. It's stagnant. I don't know if it's going to make it. I can tell that my pastor is discouraged. Would you be willing to meet with him? And I said, yeah. So he sat down and said, man, what are you doing? How are you doing it? What do I do? And I sat down and I'm like, man, the first thing is, I want to know, what's your vision? And he really didn't know. Mm-hmm. Now you need to, that's number one. You got to know what your vision is.
Yeah.
Because Habakkuk chapter 2 says, write it down, make it plain so the herald can run with it, though it might be delayed. Don't quit, don't give up, because it's going to happen in due season. Well, what I explained to him is, the first thing you need to do is find out what is your vision. And as soon as you find it out, you got to tell the people. You know, they have a bulletin, put it in the bulletin.
Yeah.
Write it down, put it on the wall.
Yeah.
Everyone in the church should know what the vision is, so everybody knows where you're heading.
So then let's pause there a minute, right? Everyone should know the vision, which then means that the person leading it needs to know it, but also make it so plain that you don't need a book to open up and figure out what it is.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You see a lot of churches with 7 points of what their church is all about, right? You have got to make it as plain as possible.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Because, and one of the ways that I've always told folks, if you can't get it on a T-shirt, it's too big.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. You helped us fine tune some things. In fact, we met with you a few years ago, our board, and our staff, we all sat down with you to rewrite our mission statement that was attached to our vision. And we came up with one sentence that can be summed up in 3 words: hope, help, Jesus.
Yeah.
Everybody in our church, if you walk up to them and say, hey, what 3 words sum up Rock Church? The majority of our people are going to tell you, hope, help, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and you helped us fine tune that. And maybe somebody's listening today, this is what you need, because you got to streamline it. It can't be complicated.
Yeah. Because
if it's hard for you to explain, it's
exactly. I was just going to say, if you can't explain it, then no one in the church is going to explain it, right?
Right.
So same with us with Dream Center. Our main core vision is impacting families living in poverty, starting with kids and youth.
Yeah.
That's it, right? Yeah. Now, there's a lot that unpacks from that. Our core values is dignity, compassion, and purpose. But people know what we're about. You should be able to go on a website and immediately see what the church is about. If you've got to dig for stuff, you need to retool it.
Right.
You really have. So, and the reason why I'm bringing that out is because just in that process, that could actually spark something within the leader. Because they've got to take an honest look at the organization or church they're leading and say, okay, what gets me up every morning?
Come on now.
And if it's you can't even say it because you don't know, or it's too long, then you're like, okay, I need to reevaluate this.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not passionate about it, why should anybody in your church be passionate about it?
Right. And that's why a lot of churches also decline. If the leader isn't all in, then you're not going to get 200, 300, 5,000 people all in as well.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So I think that's key. I think one of the other things that is a huge thing is personal health, as in putting yourself in places that will make you healthier as far as emotionally, spiritually.
Yeah.
You know, for instance, a few years back, I went on a sabbatical, and I'll be honest with you, I came back to more mess than when I went. Right? And I only did a 6-week one, which if you look at some folks, they do months, right?
Yeah.
But the issue...
Yeah, I'm on my 4th year now.
But the issue for me was, because our organization is 24/7, things are happening, and the folks we deal with, it can get messy. There was decisions that were being made when I wasn't here that... I'm not saying they were wrong, but I wasn't there to bring some counsel.
Sure.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so I stepped into stuff. But when I was gone, I did position myself to go to non-profits that were bigger than mine. Right? And not just bigger as in financial, but as in bigger vision. Right? So I visited a place in LA called Hope the Mission. And they are, you know, they're leading the way in LA. Everyone thinks of the LA Dream Center, and it's good. LA Dream Center is really good. But Hope the Mission is another level.
Wow.
They're a, you know, $35 million operation.
Wow.
They have... just on the tiny home side of things that we've been looking at, they have over 2,000 tiny homes throughout LA. Just last month, right, you'll get a kick out of this, Dave Grohl, the lead singer from Foo Fighters, did a charity event for Hope the Mission, and they're a full-blown Christian organization.
Wow.
So we're talking about they're impacting even people that aren't in the church to get involved.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I went out there, and there was so much that they were doing and challenged me. Back there, it was when I saw how they were feeding people, and coming back from there, I was like, we need to get our own kitchen, right? We were bringing food in from other places. We need our own kitchen because we can bring dignity to it. It's back to the core values.
Yes.
And so, you know, we now serve 175,000 meals out of this building for all our homeless guests, all the students every night, they get a meal. That all was sparked from seeing it bigger at another place. And I think sometimes you have to, and I'm not on about church conferences, right? Church conferences are good,
right?
But you're not stepping into an environment that's doing it day in, day out.
Yeah.
So if you're a church of 600, go and hang out with a pastor who's got a church of 1,500.
Yeah.
Right? Don't go and hang out with a pastor that's got 10,000, because what you find is you look at what they do and you always then will feel, we can't get close to this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a mindset.
You end up discouraged.
Yeah. There's a mindset. But if you can get to a church that is perhaps double what you are and just ask, how did you get from here to there? And just glean on that. That is where you can get so much more than a conference or a retreat. There are places for retreat, for sure.
Yeah.
But if you can get alongside people who are doing it, but just that next step from where you're at, that can then really spark that passion back in you.
I agree. That's good stuff.
So that was my 2 cents.
Yeah, I like it. I think you want to surround you definitely want to surround yourself with people who have a vision, or at least go somewhere to get inspired. Go somewhere not just to get inspiration, but to get instruction.
Yeah.
How can you go to the next level? How can you improve? How can you grow? And I mean, we've done that over the years. Not just through conferences, but through, visiting other church. I mean, we went to the Belonging a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I got so many great ideas.
Yeah, tell us about that. Because when I was on staff at Crosspoint, and here's another thing that I think is brilliant. So for those who don't know, I was in Nashville for a year, helping set up dream centers. through a church down there called Cross Point. Cross Point is right next door to the Titan Stadium. They're probably a church when we were there of about 9,000, about 300 on staff.
Yeah.
And I was placed really in this church to really, I feel, to see how an organization can run at the next level, right?
Yeah.
That's coming back from it. That's what I felt it was. But what I loved about Crosspoint was this. They would tell us, hey, you're serving all day Sunday. You're involved all week. If you want to go and just get refreshed, we advise you to go to the Belonging Church, which is on Tuesday nights, right?
Yeah.
And it was purely so that we could then come back to Crosspoint refreshed, ready for the next weekend.
Yeah, get filled up.
There was no, oh, you can't go to another church in town. You can't do that. No, they were encouraging it.
Yeah.
And so when you went to Nashville, I'm like, dude, check out Belonging.
Yeah.
And what was that like?
We did. We hated it. It was just, no, kidding. We loved it. It was a Tuesday night, so we were in Nashville.
Do you know why Tuesday?
Because so many people tour in the back, right? In Nashville.
That's how they started the church. Was
okay.
You know, Nashville obviously is a lot of Christian artists, a lot of roadies, a lot of sound guys, video guys, production guys that are never home on weekends. So when the Belonging started, they said, we're just going to start in a basement on a Tuesday night. And from that, they still do the Tuesday night, but then they've obviously got service on Sunday now.
Yeah.
But that's how it started,
Wow.
meeting the need of the city.
Yeah.
Right?
It.
That's really what it was.
Amazing. And I think they did everything with excellence. I loved it from the moment we got there to the moment we left, everything about it. I was inspired, encouraged. I was taking pictures and just paying attention to little details. But then more than anything, I got filled up. I mean, the worship was phenomenal. I think Hope Darce was singing her song, and I didn't even know it was her till after it was over. It's like, oh my goodness. I mean, it was on another level. And oh man, the pastor's wife who
Alex.
Yeah, Alex preached, and on I still remember the message on the scripture about a plumb line, and she had a plumb line on the stage. And it was passionate, and it wasn't like a 20-minute sermon. I mean, she went for it.
Yeah.
It was so good. Yeah, we were encouraged. We got filled up. We got ideas, inspired. I think, man, every pastor needs to go visit somewhere else.
Yeah.
We're all the same team.
Yeah.
It's not competition.
Yeah, and I think that looking at the two guys that I met with, there's one that obviously he's about to pioneer something. And I think there's something about pioneering something about starting something. Even if you fail, just starting something.
Yes.
But then the other guy, I'll be honest, I think he really needs to do some of the stuff we're talking about. Yeah. Visit people and first see if the calling is still there. I think that's the biggest question. 'Cause if it's not, then there's going to be people in the church that are going to suffer as well.
There's a difference between calling and a job.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, mate, we had a coffee as well.
We went to church today.
Went to church, but no, we hope we're helping people as they listen to our conversations. We are not by any means the experts on everything, but we have gone through stuff and we see stuff, we're connected, and we're able to pull from things. So that's what Revival Town is.
Yes.
Right? Highlighting people, movements, and not only highlighting, but seeing what is making those folks tick.
Yep. Absolutely.
So there you go.
Well, another good week.
Another good week.
We'll do it again next week.
Yeah. We just want to make sure that you are connecting with us. I know that sounds crazy, but we check our Instagrams and Facebook messages.
Yes, and Andy's phone number is 309.
I am not Bob Goff.
Yeah, no, send us a DM, send us a message. And but seriously, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Get in touch with us, and we will see you again next week on Revival Town Podcast. See you then.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Revival Town Podcast. Make sure you're following us on social media and remember to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. For more information, head on over to revivaltownpodcast.com.